My thing with Burna Boy is that he calls himself an Odogwu, but essentially at his core, he's a man-child.
The current economic hardship is taking a toll on everyone and making us remember the popular song, "Nobody go ask if you don't chop. Nobody go send you free money. If you no get now, you sabi. Adulthood na scam." So is adulthood really a scam? This and many more we will be discussing on this week's episode of Paul's Hot Takes. My name is Chris.
And my name is Elvis Christian, and we have our special, she's not a special guest anymore. At this point, she's a co-host. She's my colleague, my senior colleague.
Our co-host.
How are you doing? You look really nice today. The
Thank
outfit
you.
is giving.
Right? Hey guys, my name is Kimi K. I'm excited to be here.
What's up, guys? It's David Ben, Senior Lifestyle Reporter. I'm glad to be here.
Are you really glad to be here? Because you have been frowning since.
You don't look glad.
Bro,
you look like, oh my God,
Yeah, like,
these people have come and brought me to sit on this table with them again.
Well, I mean, last episode, they loved you. Everyone loves you now. You're like the star boy of the show.
I'm not. I'm good. Like, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it.
Okay, so firstly, with the way things are in the economy now, would you say, or is it safe to say that adulthood is actually a scam? Who wants to go first?
I think personally, I would say it's a scam as regards what expectations I had growing up, right? When I was a lot younger, I was like, oh, as at this age I am right now that I am now. You don't have to go into details what the age is. But I was telling myself then, I was like, oh, I should have a this, a that. I should have gotten married. I'm very honest. When I was like 12, at this age, I expected to be married with at least one kid, have a house of my own, fast track 10 years now, and none of those things are happening. So it does feel like a scam because, adulthood is marketed as so much freedom. You get to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And right now, to even find what I want to eat, I have to be at the point of death first before I actually now find out what I want to eat. It's not what it was. It has good PR. But the lived experience is not,
it's crazy.
especially not in Nigeria, It's not as amazing as it was marketed to us as kids.
I mean, for me, right, it's a very broad conversation because when you say adulthood na scam, you look at it from different perspectives. And for me, my own perspective is I do love the freedom, the independence that being an adult brings you. It's a whole new different world. Nobody's telling you, come here, go and sleep here, do this, do that. Like,
you need to be home by 6.
Yeah, you need to be home by 6.
My elder sister is an adult that has a curfew, by the way.
Ooh. Wow. I mean, like, I like being in charge of myself and my own, my own things. But then when you look at it from a broad perspective and you see the kind of society that we are in currently, I understand why people feel scammed, because it's like we've been sold a lie. They told us the world that we were prepared for, especially in Nigeria, they told us, oh, go to school, do this, do that, and when you
get a job,
exactly, and when you come out into the open world, you have everything on your feet, like everything is going to work out for you. But it's not true
at all.
We are in a system where we are not rewarded for our hard work. It is what it is. And I have to say this, that the Nigerian government, Nigerian system has failed young people. It is what it is. So I understand why people feel scammed. But then there's also a case of privileges. Like, there are lots of people who do not feel this, the disruptions of adulthood.
If I record every day of my life for the rest of my life?
Shout out to Tim. I mean, there are a lot of people that will never feel like the discomfort, but for a lot of people, for the masses, it's hard, like figuring out what to eat, or where will I work, or a job, like it's a lot. Don't have
places to live.
It's a lot. So adulthood is a scam. I understand why a lot of people feel scam, but the freedom is something that I cannot trade.
Are we really free though? I feel like the freedom comes with shackles.
I just want to say Kimi K for president.
Please. I feel like the freedom is also another scam. Because you're told, yes, you are free. But it's freedom at the basicest of levels. Right? It's freedom as per, you don't get a curfew anymore. Which is really fickle, right?
Yeah, the kind of freedom that we
currently, you can't see my hair. I'm blonde right now, I went to church last 2 weeks Sunday. That's why I said I won't go to church for a long time, because I went to church, and the last time I came to that particular church, that's the one I grew up in. This man saw me. I was like, my hair is symbolizes that I'm no longer in Christ. Fact,
for your blonde hair.
That's not the case. He told me that God can be merciful and dangerous to me because of the color of my hair. This man told me that I felt like I'm a big boy. I should be able to put whatever color I want on my hair, but that's not what society is saying. You understand? This is a very, very basic, random example, but you can't have dreads. Because they will call you a Yahoo boy. So even the freedom, so to say, that we get as adults, it's not really freedom. Are we really free?
But I think that people who decide to be free kind of breaks. they kind of have to like go against the status quo. You have to, if you really want to be free, you have to be like, F it. I don't care what you think. I'm going to wear my blonde hair. I'm going to do my dreads.
And that comes at a price.
A very big price.
I'm willing to pay.
That you're willing to pay. Wink, wink.
David.
Man, I don't know.
You never not know.
I don't know. I'm not. Adulthood is not a scam because for me, everyone had different growing up, right? So for my growing up, made
Davido Tedola, sorry.
Just no, it's not. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. I had everything I needed as a kid. Shout out to my dad, my mom, my parents. But the way I was brought up, they already prepared me mentally that okay, you know,
this is how life is.
It's going to be. I mean, my parents changed secondary school twice. And for me, then I already, even though I felt like, because I was very rascally, like as a young kid. But
as a young kid, young kid. You're not rascally now.
No, I'm not. So then when it happened, for me, I felt, okay, it's not from an academic point of view. And I couldn't really understand what was going on at the time. But when, like, shortly after I realized that, it was a thing of school fees. The price was making mommy and daddy change me. So it's not a scam for me. Like I've learned to embrace responsibility like from a very young age. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I feel that way, but I don't ever feel like it's a scam.
I mean, I can relate a lot to what he just said, right? I feel like from a very young age, from as early as 15, got my first job at 14. So I've been on the road since I don't say, you understand what I mean? So I feel like my parents already prepared me for that, but there is still that delusion that I still had that, okay, when I'm done with uni, things should be a lot better. If I study hard and get good grades, I will get a good job and earn a good salary, then have a good family and have a good life.
But it's all lies.
Yes, there's still that fairy tale I still expected. But child of grace type thing.
Okay, but so when you say that you feel scammed because of that, was that the expectation that your parents or the society was giving you, or the expectation you were giving yourself?
I think
because it's different if they tell you, don't worry, when you graduate you're going to get a good job.
But we were told that.
I know.
We were told that.
Wait, I'm getting somewhere. And then it's also different because for me, let me use myself as an example. Growing up, my mom is a hustler, right? She's very, very hardworking. She cannot just stay and not do anything, right? So she's a nurse. She's an orthopedic nurse, but she also has like other businesses that she does. So from as early as, let's say, primary 2, primary 3, I was already learning handwork. I was learning how to make beads. I was learning how to... But despite the fact that I learned all those things, I was learning it for fun, right? Not because I felt I would monetize it eventually, do anything. So when I got to school, because it was all... you go to school, you graduate, you get a good job, you do your master's. No, you go to school, you graduate, you do your master's, you get a good job, you find a good man, you get married, you have a family.
I know a good woman in my own.
That was the ideology I went to uni with, and I got the biggest shock of my life. Because I get to uni in 100 level, first time away from home, everything was new to me. I was trying to adjust, and I'm seeing my mates selling underwear, selling makeup, and I'm like, what are these people doing? Did you not come to school? So did you get it's different when you were prepared for,
or you set those expectations yourself,
or you set those expectations.
I did set them myself.
I don't think adulthood is. I think the part of adulthood that is a scam is the fact that it is all these things of you do this, you do that is easier said than done. Okay, right? I think that's the only part for me where I feel like adulthood is a scam because to be honest, nobody really prepared our parents for adulthood, right? Do you get? They grew up, they saw what they saw. Yeah. Their experience is definitely completely different from ours. So you cannot now say, is this scam? If someone sells their own experience to you and then you now go in front and see that the experience that you're having it's not the same as the experience that they had. And that's what they have sold to you, that when you get there, that's what you are going to see. Then can probably say that.
Okay. Let me say this. Nigerian youths are not lazy. And this is what I'm picking back from what you said, having seen people hustling, selling this and selling that. But we are in a system where it makes it hard for us to be adults. So like every of your hard work, it's like the systems are not just working. So when people feel scammed and they feel sad, it's a matter of a system that does not support you growing into an adult. And our parents, let's not lie, they had it easier than us. How much is egg? One egg right now. You can buy egg for 200 naira. And when we were growing up, egg was 35 naira.
13 naira. I can remember it being 13 naira. Yeah.
So do you see the differences? And like I said, Nigerian youths are not lazy. They are doing a lot to kind of, find ways to survive this harsh system. But it seems like it's not enough. That's why people feel scammed.
Yeah, because one thing, just picking up from what you said here, one thing you need to have a fair, considerable lived experience or life experience generally as an adult, you need infrastructure.
Yes.
You understand? And we quote unquote, we have a welfarist government that is supposed to provide for the people. Things like subsidies on education, electricity, fuel, and things like that. That's what we expect from the kind of government we have on paper, constitution, right? But we do not have infrastructure as basic as electricity. Right now, there's no lights. You understand?
And there's heat.
That is heat. That's even a different conversation. That's a different topic. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we don't have the basic if you want to run as simple as a pure water business, you need lights. Right? Because people want cold water. You don't even have that. The small chin business that you can start. So I feel like everything just goes back to the role the government plays in that. So when I always tell people that your political decisions have lasting impacts on your life,
consequences,
right? Because currently we have a president who is on seats who will most likely be there for almost a decade, and we're barely gone 1 year, and this is what we're experiencing, right? So I feel as young people, instead of crying scam, maybe we should make more intelligent political decisions and see where that would take us. I'm not saying you didn't make intelligent decisions. I'm just saying better ones.
That's exactly
some people didn't.
Elvis for president.
Some people didn't. I mean, for me, I would say, Kim, I agree with you for the first time in a while.
Second time, actually. I agreed with her on the last episode.
It's because of the house face.
No. Like, she makes sense. You used to make sense before, darling. It's not personal, really. You always make sense.
Don't
but
worry,
she made sense. We live in a Nigeria that the system works actively against the people. Which is one of my biggest fears, because if you guys have younger ones, you would actually understand that.
I have 4.
I have 2 brothers, who are both in uni. And it feels like they feel some level of pressure at their age. And I'm like, you can't, bro. Who are you trying to impress? Like, he's David, my phone, you're using an iPhone. You're like, no, I want to use an iPhone
15.
That's 15 or 13. That, bro, like all my guys in my class, like, bro, this party, I need to wear this shoe.
Yahoo boys are not making it easy.
They're not. And these kids, like, are very, like, I talk to them and it almost feels like, oh, I'm not hearing you what you're saying. We need money. David, if you're not talking money,
don't talk to me.
If you ain't talking money,
it's scary.
You're talking nonsense.
But let me say it. Wanting an iPhone is not a crime. We're in this part of the world that we live in. Feels like iPhones are luxury items. In certain countries, you can get an iPhone on a discount when you work.
But we're not.
But we have to be real. These kids, the younger generation, they are seeing things going on. They are seeing their mates in other countries surviving, opening businesses, thriving. How exactly do you expect them to feel? Like, you're talking about money, because look at what's going on currently in the world. You can't blame them.
I think as regards what's going on in Nigeria right now, an iPhone is luxury.
It is. It's a class symbol.
230.
It's a class symbol right now.
I'm doing advert right now, so scratch that.
It's a class symbol.
You get my point. It's luxury.
But it shouldn't have to be.
It should, exactly.
It shouldn't have to be. That's my point.
It shouldn't, but it is.
Like, when you say you want an iPhone, like, you remember the viral story of the girl saying she wanted an iPhone and her parents were like,
that one was bullshit.
It shouldn't have to be. We should be able to afford. I should be able to be like, oh, I want to afford it. I want to get a car.
Yes.
In
high school.
Man,
a lot of people get their cars at 16.
Cars in high school.
Yeah, but like, you can't compare that society to
us.
Man.
Yeah, of course.
But it still gets down to the point that our system has failed us as Nigerian youth. We have been failed. We have been scammed too.
It has.
All right.
Okay, so we've talked about how the society isn't helping, but there's also, the societal pressure that, at a certain age, you should have achieved this, you should have gotten a house, you should have gotten married. Do you think all these societal pressures add to, adulthood feeling like a scam?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah.
One thing I feel like, guys, we don't talk about here is the pressure that society puts on men.
Yeah.
I feel like, not to compare, I'm not doing the suffering Olympics here, but I do think that there is a huge degree of stress, pressure, expectations that society has on men specifically, right? And for example, I'm a man, right? So one pressure. I'm an Igbo man. So if you know what I mean, that's more pressure. I'm an Igbo man who is the first son of his father. So if you know what I'm talking about, these are 3 varying degrees of pressure.
Yeah.
When I finished, I was just done with uni in January. VS was in January, and I could, not my parents, but I can already see relatives looking at my pockets.
Exactly.
Already looking at me like, okay, so what is the next? I hate when I hear that question. What's next? Do I look like I know? Start asking me questions. Oh, do you want to move abroad? Do you want to get a job? What kind of job do you want? If you're not providing that job, don't ask me. You get what I mean? So there is a lot of pressure men get from society, and I feel like, guys, we don't really talk about that because we expect people. A lot of people expect men to chest it, and just you will survive last. Be man, you be. But unfortunately, I'm a passenger princess. I don't really work that way. I crumble in pressure. I don't lie when I say all those things you write on your CV. I work well on that. I don't work well on that pressure. Right? I see myself waking up in the middle of the night to actually think, and I'm like, I'm still quite young, right? And kudos to my parents here. This pressure doesn't come directly from them, but I see it around. From neighbors, from friends, my own friends that are still in uni, people that are even younger than me. I was like, oh, you don't finish, so are we looking at masters now? What business do you want to start? Right, this is a lot of marriage already. And
but you want to be married?
Exactly. I don't plan getting married, but I'm already hearing that, is this the business you want to do when you're married? Can this pay school fees? I'm like, bro, I just want to chow chickens and just move on with my life and just eat food. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like men, we need to have this, because one thing I give women kudos, women talk about their stuff. They talk about problems, and then we have the feminists that would want to advance and make change happen. But men, if you start talking about these problems now, I'm sure the comments always like, get out.
Kimmy K will just say, if you talk about your
you're
problems,
a weak man. Kimmy K will come and start saying, I'm a weak man because I have problems.
Honestly, no, see, for societal pressures, right? I think that when you're in your 20s or when you're just figuring life out, these type of pressures makes it very, very hard for you to figure yourself out, which is a very important aspect of adulthood. You don't know who you are when you're a child. You can't know who you are. So all these pressures are, I think we need to find a way to find our community that kind of shields us from the pressure, because at the end of the day, you have to work on your own timeline, because my timeline and your timeline, girl, it ain't the same.
My timeline, I want it to be young, child.
Adding to what Kimmy K has said, this, like, the way society makes it seem like, oh, you should have achieved this, they make it seem like it's a one-size-fits-all game, right? So when you now focus on that, okay, you're not saying, okay, my mates are doing this, my mates are doing that, I haven't achieved this, it cannot actually make you feel depressed, right? And I know it's very easier said than done, but it's also important for you to be able to be like, okay, like she said, you know what? Yes, everybody's achieving what they're achieving. Yes, everybody's flying, shaking their, booty on a yacht.
Their bomb on a yacht in Dubai.
I'm going to go at my own pace. I'm going to go at my own pace. I'm not going to let anybody pressure me. It's easier said than done, no, because but I feel like that's just what can help to reduce the, I feel like the pressure that we feel.
Older millennials, right? Older millennials, because I'm sure younger millennials are different. Older millennials tend to say things like, because when young Gen Zs,
Gen Z?
Yeah, I'm Gen Z.
He is.
Yeah, I know, I look old. I look old. Yeah, I know, I look old. I get it.
You look at him as a millennial.
I'm Gen Z also. Anyways.
Yeah.
Older millennials tend to, like, when Gen Zs go through things that are stifling. You understand? I tend to cry, my mental health, I'm sad, I'm having anxiety. And I feel like it helps. You understand? Crying wolf helps. I'm the kind of person, like I said before, I'm a passenger princess. Whenever I feel pressured, the next thing I think about doing, I let myself experience that fear, that disappointment. I feel my emotions, but that's not the way my dad works. My dad is the type to always say, instead of complaining, just do it. Nike ambassador. But you get what I mean?
Not you shading.
I told him this in person. He's the type to always say, man up, chest it, you are a man. You are from this social family, you're supposed to do. But I don't work like that. Me, I will cry, tears will come out of my eyes. And when I've gotten down and I've experienced my emotions, I stand up and do something about it.
Yes, because you have to feel what you're feeling. You have to get that feeling out before there's even space for you to think properly.
And that's why a lot of men walk around successful with terrible mental health, because they didn't feel all these emotions. They just jumped the gun, solved the problem, another problem came, they jumped that emotion, solved it, keep solving problems without actually checking you. You're not solving you, you're solving problems. Pastor. Did you get together like
he said, even though I would probably say something that would ruffle a few feathers.
Kimike's feathers,
No, a few feathers, especially our parents. I feel like this generation of youth, us, we have more drive to succeed than our parents ever did. And they are kind of intimidated and scared. I see it amongst parents, like, you really like you have this passion to I know you want to make money, you want to make it, you want to blow and probably take this family from this place to this place and everything. It's good, but it's also dangerous. Like, it's really, really dangerous. I feel like the Nigerian youth are so powerful. Like, we don't even know the power we have. That's why sometimes when I see these influencers on Twitter tweet certain things and say certain things, I'm like, nah. I just realized that most of them, the influencers, like the big names, clique or cartel of influencers on Twitter, are like some are still undergraduates, some are still trying to write jam.
Yeah, and just
some are not even.
Genuinely, I was shocked. People were graduating. I'm like, you poor kids.
They don't know. But like the drive that we have to succeed. I mean, look at content creators. Look at people making videos, blowing on TikTok.
And now the government wants them to start paying tax.
Government wants to tax them. Man, they should better be careful.
Nah, man.
I think it's reasonable to tax content.
No, it's not. Let's not do that, Elvis. Let's not do that.
Them if we are seeing what the tax that we're paying is doing.
If you're coming from that angle, I agree.
Reasonable,
but I feel like anybody that earns an income should be taxed on that income.
Obviously, the rich pay more taxes than anybody.
In an ideal world. In an ideal world. Okay.
Ideal world.
Because that's why I said the system is working hard against the Nigerian youth, and the government is trying to make it harder.
The president came outside to say that, he has tried everything and things can't work. That if there's a solution, he would have done it, but there is not. I was watching that video, I was like, this one said,
oh my God.
All the best.
Like, how are people suffering in Nigeria?
Like, it's YOLO, peace out.
You're the president and you feel the best way to make things better is to collect more money from them. And you know they don't have money.
What?
So,
please bring light. I know I am my shirts.
Honestly, the youth who are actually making waves in tech, lifestyle, fashion, food, whatever, sports,
every industry.
Man, big ups to you guys, because it's not easy to thrive in this country.
Big ups to us guys too.
Yeah, big ups to us too.
Okay, so we've spoken about the economy.
It's giving class teacher.
Yes, pupils, quiet.
All right.
So I want to ask a question.
Yeah,
ask away, girl.
Answer based on your own opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't force your opinion on anybody, right?
Kimike.
Do you think
I will try?
Okay. Do you think, or rather, is it bad for a man to live in his parents' house till he gets married? Like, you don't live on your own. You just go straight from your parents' house to your matrimonial home. For me personally, I would say that I don't think it's bad, right? Because
you would marry a man that...
that's not the question.
That's not what she said. She said, personally.
Is it bad for a man to live with his parents till he gets married?
Let's twist the question.
Don't twist the question.
Me personally, there are a lot of reasons why a man would stay in his father's house till he gets married. 1, the economy. 2, the economy. 3, there are some cultures, I don't know, like the family might be like, this, that. There are just so many factors that can. He might not be broke.
But just lives with his parents.
He might also be trying to save money. So me, I don't see anything wrong with a man saying, I'm going to live in my parents' house, because I mean, if as a woman, I'm not trying to bring gender into this, but if as a woman you can stay in your father's house till we have independent women who are living alone, we have women who are living with their family till they get married. So I feel like it's not a bad thing. Now, I want to hear your opinion before I ask the next question.
Right. Okay. So personally, I don't want to live with my parents before marriage. If that's not even marriage I'm just putting marriage hypothetically, right? Yeah. If I was getting married, I wouldn't want to be there before I would like to experience life
as a bachelor.
Then, get a babe. We move in together for like a while. Then we think about marriage. From marriage, you get what I mean? Yeah. That's what I think is ideal in my head. But right now, I have a very protective mom. Right? I'm not a mom. I think I'm a mommy's boy.
He's a mommy's boy. So obvious.
I think I'm a mommy's boy. I have a very protective mom. Each time I bring up the idea of moving out, she shoots it down immediately. Just like, the economy is so hard, you should stay. You understand? Why spend money when we can spend? You understand? Let's help you out. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to go through that phase. You will learn on the job. That's what my mom says.
Yeah.
Come for him.
Oh, sure. I don't care. Please come for me. Good. Anyways, my mom is the type of person that would say things like that. And I'm like, I see sense in that because outside is hard. Outside is tough.
Outside is crazy.
And I have lived alone in school. And it wasn't a pleasant experience because I'm not that responsible. To be honest, I only eat when I'm at the point of death. Genuinely. When I'm at home, there's a routine. There's someone to check you. So that's cute. And I like that. I'm not complaining.
And that's why he's a diva. Boy.
Yeah.
Diva.
I don't mind that.
Personally, I do not have issues, right? Because when you look at it again from a broad perspective, there's issues of the economy, and just different reasons. But I feel that men need to experience independence outside their parents.
Everybody
does.
No,
we're talking about men, right? This is a men's issue. I don't want to make it a men versus women issue now.
Okay.
I think that men should experience independence away from their parents' house.
Sure.
Like, how do you discover who you are as a man? Can you really do that when you are under like the watching eyes of your parents or like the mommy's boy here? I think it's really hard.
It depends on.
I think it's really hard.
I feel like I know a lot about myself under like my parents' roof. Right? It depends on the guy, not necessarily where he's living.
No, I think where you're living, like really, it's a very
you can be very independent whilst being under your parents' roof. I pay bills in the house.
Yes, but does that really mean you are truly independent? People are still going to question you if you come at a certain time. If you do something,
like, people
are still going to question you. You're still going to answer to authorities under your parents' house.
Not really.
I think that men need to experience independence. And if as a man, you deliberately, like, it's not even an economy thing. You choose the economy. You choose, go outside and hustle. You're a man.
Yeah. So
gain the experience. It is not a man versus women issue. I ain't saying nothing.
I agree.
It's a human issue. So you should look both sides. If you keep saying you are a man.
She said a man.
It's very convenient that you are saying the question because I have the script too.
No,
do you want to look at it?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So David,
man, you guys have said it all.
Okay, so now the next question.
He said
it. Yeah, I've said it all.
You said it all.
Did you want to say something?
No, I don't disagree with anything. A man should
praise God.
Okay,
I don't disagree.
Moving on to the question that Elvis has been waiting for. That he tried to ask me.
Yeah. So would you marry? No, let me answer it because you will not say it's a woman. It's a man talk now. As a woman,
it's not would you marry? Would you date a man that's
I think anybody can date anybody.
No. Stick to dates. Don't worry, stick to dates.
Yeah, would you marry? Would you date a man?
Obviously, you cannot marry a man that is living in his father's house now.
There's no way.
So some people stay in their family's house now.
That's why I said say dates.
Like, how do you want to do it?
Say dates. Don't worry. Let's go with dates. Let's go with dates.
Me too. Let me stay in my mother's house. Come and marry me.
Don't worry. Let's go with dates. Let's go with dates.
Okay, so you're dating. Can you date as a woman? Can you date a man who still lives with his family?
Yeah.
Like I said, keep quiet.
It's
listening. Not a one size fits all. Everybody has their own opinion, their own preference. And me personally, I go Christabel. I can't, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
2 reasons. Like she said, every human being needs to live on their own for a period of time before they get married, because I feel like you need that time to get to know yourself. You need that time to get to know the things that you like, the things that you don't like. Who am I outside of being my parents' child, right? Everybody needs that experience, whether you are a man or you are a woman.
God bless you.
Now, secondly, The second reason is because being there, done that, it did not end up.
So can we unpack
we're not here to discuss my personal
relationship.
We're not
so
here.
I can tell the story if you weren't.
We're not here to discuss my personal issues, but I'm just saying that
your situation was hot.
Keep quiet. What I experienced, right, would not allow me do it again because I had issues. Are you gonna let me drink my water and drop the cup?
Okay, drink.
The experiences I had were not great. So I had issues of the mom being overly involved in our lives. Overly involved in our lives. And there were times because I was in school, he had graduated from school, and there were times where I would have to leave school. I was schooling in Ilorin. I would have to leave Ilorin, travel to Lagos to go
long
visit.
distance, girl.
You travel, man, girl, in this moment
to travel Greek. Wow, that far. That's crazy. Oh my God, that shit's crazy.
I would travel from Ilorin to Lagos, and obviously he lives with his parents. So where am I going to stay, under the bridge? No, I stayed with his parents, and there was a particular.
You were in love,
there was something. Please,
our wife. You didn't give you Valentine's Day.
I was in love, but I was I was in love, yes, but I was very naive, and there are a lot of things. But that's not what we're talking about. Having experienced that, I would not try it again. I know that you cannot say, oh, that's what happened before with this person is a totally different person, totally different circumstance. Does not mean that it's going to happen again, but I have been traumatized.
Validly, it's very valid
by that event. So personally, anybody can do whatever they want. You can date a man that is, in fact, you can marry him and live with him in his parents' house. That is for you, your own cup of tea. That's for you. But for me, I would never try it again. Ever.
You shouldn't.
After what I just heard.
Are you satisfied?
Do you need a hug?
Let me hear from Kim. Let's hear from Kim.
Me?
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, at the end of the day, like each to their own, right? But what are we dating for? Are we dating for knacks? Are we dating for vibes? Are we dating to have a serious relationship?
What's dating for knacks and vibes?
Sometimes you're just vibing now. Because the guy is cool. Like, you're just vibing now. You guys are just vibing.
When you're vibing?
You're just vibing. No,
what do you do? What do you do when you're vibing? I want to know actually. What do you do?
It's penetration that is
just vibing.
Why are you like this?
Okay, you go to church, you watch movies, and you eat popcorn.
You chill.
Let me like if you're dating someone that lives in his father's house and you guys are vibing, you guys will just be chilling now, be sneaking kisses all around the house. Like,
to me, I don't think vibing is even just about like intimacy.
What
do you get?
Like having a good time together.
I don't think vibing is just
but
about
if we're dating for a serious relationship, and I am speaking from my own perspective, and maybe for some other people, I can't do it.
You can't date a man that's in.
I can't do it. Like maybe if I meet you and you're still in your father's house, then we can decide to like get a place together or something. Like, okay, then we have a plan. We're going somewhere. Then I can understand. Hey, understanding girlfriend. But
don't go. I mean, it's not I don't go, but don't worry.
I think that's
but there's nothing like an understanding girlfriend. Like it's nothing.
A man and a woman are both broke.
Bro, it's a woman that understand girlfriend. How? Like, bro, the injustice.
They'll tell you that understanding girlfriend they pay because I mean there was not to digress.
I've been an understanding girlfriend, but I mean you told us already.
I've been an understanding girlfriend.
You're still saying understanding girlfriend doesn't exist.
Yes,
in our own terms, that's
what they say.
Okay,
right? So not to digress, but just about this whole understanding girlfriend.
And this Holy Spirit understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. See, each to their own at the end of the day. But for me, privacy is key.
Yeah.
I want to feel free in our like.
So they won't use it to muffle your mouth.
And I scream. So
she's a screamer
and a creamer.
Can we please focus on the topic?
Please, the topic is: can you date a man?
So to you now, would you date a woman that is in her mother's?
Would you date a man?
Would you date a woman that is in her father's parents' house?
I mean, yeah,
obviously.
There's no issue dating.
Genuinely, like.
But my own problem is I don't like. For me, because there's this narrative about broke guy. Let me even use this opportunity to say this. If you are living in Nigeria,
you're already broke,
and you are maybe you happen to be in a relationship, and probably you look around and you're dating a guy. Let me talk about the men now. So you won't be like, okay, I hate women. I'm coming from women.
But you do.
I don't hate women. I do not hate women. Calm down, relax, okay? I just hate the entitlement. Okay, it's not. I don't hate women. So if you're dating a guy, he has something going on for himself, whether or not he's living in a one room or whatever, face me, I face you or whatever. You have no right to call him broke. If you do not have a job and you don't have a life,
I agree.
Okay.
You have no right. So if you want to date him because of you love him, I'm fine, go ahead, be with him and everything. But if you don't have anything going on and you feel like he's living with his parents because do not call a man broke if you do not have shit going on for yourself.
See, personally, I just want to refute that narrative.
Even living in Nigeria, in this economy, you can't call anybody broke. Come on.
A man can discover a lot about himself.
Yeah.
And be a man 100% ready for marriage, even after living in his parents' house for a long time.
True.
It does not determine anything.
Yeah.
A man can see, he gets house they be. A man can be living with his parents and be paying every single bill. He's still every single bill.
That's
pay electricity, water, everything.
But as a woman, privacy is important.
No, I understand that. That's why hotels exist now.
There are hotels actually.
Hotels. I don't like.
It's a one night thing. Are you? I don't understand. Are you? What's going on?
What the hell?
No, hotels are great. They're fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always have a get. I mean, they're shortless. You can do.
I want the safety of your apartment. I want to smell your clothes. I want to jump around and scatter the bed. I want to play with you in the house. Like,
that's valid.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that in your parents' house.
Nothing. No jumping, Junior. Right now, to you, David. Now, would you, considering the way the economy is and how things are going in Nigeria right now, would you consider the option of living with your parents before marriage?
Hell no.
Why? I don't see a problem.
The kind of parents I have are in fact, my growing up, I don't want to make this about me, but it's just my growing up, kind of parents I have, I can't even you can't say you're my friend and come to my house. They know. If you're my friend and you're watching this, you know you can't come to David's house. David's house is off limits. Oh. So my dad and my mom, who happen to be, teachers at the same time, have that mentality of, they still cage you. They're still so overprotective. They feel like, even my hair color, like they're still worried. Oh, David, are you sure police is not going to pick you up someday and this and that? So they worry, and I don't want to feel like anybody's like, I'm not a baby. I don't want to feel like I'm being babied around. No, I want to embrace responsibility, and the best way for me to do that is away from them. Trust me, it's away from them.
David is not a weak man.
So I feel it's a parenting thing. My parents,
it's a parenting thing.
My parents there's a leash, of course, but I feel like as I've grown older, I used to be very rebellious very early.
Yeah.
So I feel like that leash lose this, like the grip it's not there anymore. So they let me
because of your rebellion or because you've grown.
Because I've grown,
both probably.
So my parents kind of let me exist independently in the house.
Yeah.
I cover responsibilities. Meanwhile, I don't plan getting married, but if it was an option, if my parents were really buoyant, I don't see a reason why I should go outside to go and start struggling when I can be comfortable, and when I am ready to start a family of my own, then I leave.
Nipple baby.
You understand? I'm not a nipple baby. There's no nepotism. There's no nepotism here. But you get my point. I don't see a problem living in my parents' house before marriage. All right, so now trending topics. Davido and Burna Boy are back at it. You understand? I don't even think we can trace the origin of their beef.
Goes back as far as,
but more recently, the whole new cat, old cat statement.
Yeah.
He pained some people.
Yeah, it did.
He did.
What do you think? But Davido kind of indirectly called Burna Boy indirectly called Davido pussy.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Can I go first? Anyway, let's Kim go.
To go first.
No, let Kim
go. Let Kim go so that I can get her.
My thing with Burna Boy is that he calls himself an Odogwu, but essentially at his core, he's a man-child.
Damn.
And we all know that new cat statement from Davido really hurts him. I mean, as a man, why can't you address him? What's with all the subs? That's what I don't understand with Burna Boy. He likes to throw subs and then hides his hand. I don't get. Davido outrightly called him a new cat, which was shade, and I live for shade. All is fair in love and war.
Yeah.
So if Burna Boy has a problem with Davido, please address him. All the subs up and down just makes you look childish, and it's not a good look at all. 0 over 10.
Damn.
Burna Boy.
So currently Kimi K is leading 5-0. So
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay,
Davido
first of all,
yeah.
it was a 30 BG fan that launched an attack on Burna because he lost the Grammys.
And
Burna reacted. Why wouldn't he react? No,
By
he
dragging
is.
in his
Davido.
reaction,
Listen, I've learned to always separate the art from the artist. That's how I see.
so you listen to
musicians.
African music?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
So
Continue.
wait,
Continue.
no, I don't.
Continue.
He might
Continue.
not
No, I
be a
don't.
fan
I'm
of
not a fan
Kenny's
of him
music.
himself, like him entirely. I don't like his voice.
Okay.
So I've learned to separate the art from the artist. Obviously, and in fact, for Davido, for all his hard work, in fact, nobody's as hardworking as him. If you give him a song, he's gonna turn it to a jam, a hit, an anthem. He wants to jump on every trending song just so he can remain in charts.
Damn.
But one thing that will
Which is
never
not
change.
bad.
One thing that will never change is that Burna Boy is the most talented Nigerian artist of his generation, and people are pained because
his generation.
of his generation.
It's a new cat.
like his family members
He's
of
a better performer. He's a better singer. Probably David has more. David is the most influential artist in Africa. Yes, he has the numbers. But the truth is, people keep shitting on Burna a lot. I don't like Burna. Like if you go to my
To be
Twitter,
fair,
you
they
see-
shit on everybody.
You see how
Everybody's been shitting
I
on
come
him.
for Burna a lot of times. There was a time he messed up and he did something like he had guys beat up a lady's boyfriend because he was trying to approach her or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was time he and Davido even fought in Ghana in the club. So
Who won?
we don't know.
God,
But
Elvis.
for me, I feel like what Burna did is just. I mean, Odogwu Black comes for people who come for him. I mean, so what's wrong in that?
My problem there is, if a fan
Yeah.
comes for you,
Yeah.
Face
come
the
for
fan.
the fan.
Yeah.
Because Davido didn't Twitter him.
Yeah.
I like the both of them,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Yeah.
really do favorites in Nigerian artists
Yeah.
here. I like everybody, but I personally feel like if a fan comes for you,
Yeah.
come
Go
for the
after
fan.
the fan.
Yeah.
Because Davido didn't Twitter him.
Yeah.
Davido didn't call him a pussy. I mean, Davido did call him a cat, which
New
is
cat,
similar.
see?
Yeah.
See?
But
How dare you call Burna a new cat?
but then
How dare
But he
you?
is
How dare
now.
you? He's
But
not.
he
It's
is.
not a new cat.
Let's think
A new
context,
cat
right?
in what
Let's think
sense?
context. If Burna Boy is not a new cat, so that's not even the conversation there. Pussy. Calling someone a pussy and calling someone a new cat in Davido's context is not the same thing.
Yeah.
Because a new cat basically means you are newer in the industry.
Yeah.
But a pussy is demeaning
Yeah.
demeaning
in
actually.
that context.
Yeah.
Because pussy isn't.
No, it was disrespectful on Burna's part. Like let's not get it twisted. Burna disrespected Davido for all his achievements, for everything. But I just don't think fans need to, like, when Davido and Burna have their go, when these fans have their go at each other, fans should just stay out. 30BG, shut up. FC, shut
Those
up.
guys
Outside
will
that, shut
never
up.
shut
Let
up.
the
Never
artists
shut
go
up
at
now.
themselves, but they will never.
See, no one can ever deny Burna Boy's talent.
Yeah.
It is
He's
what
talented.
it is. He's
Yeah.
very
He's
talented.
the most.
But his
That's
behavior,
relative.
No, his behavior is like
Burna
So I think
Boy
Burna Boy is badly behaved.
horribly behaved.
horribly.
Yeah.
That's a strong word.
Yeah,
darling.
but-
So what
it
should
is
Burna
what
Boy
it
do
is
better?
now.
What should you do
I
better?
don't have advice for him because that's a star right there. Like
Yeah.
it's all part of like the entertainment game. But if you're looking, like, if you really have problems with another artist, like we the fans we are not. I don't have Davido's number.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can get Davido's number if he wants to, or he can send him a DM. Please send him a DM and air your issues man to man, and stop bringing that childish behavior to social media. It doesn't speak well of you, Burna
It's not
Boy.
childish. He reacted.
It is childish.
He reacted. That's what he
It is
did.
what it
Yeah, I mean,
is.
I can give your Instagram handle if you want to drag
It's
out.
not. He reacted. Like
You reacted to
call
what you
me
can, like
out.
you said, react to the fan. Why exactly are you reacting to Davido and
Because Davido
disrespecting
has
him?
constantly
If you
warned his
want
fans
to
to leave these
disrespect
guys
him,
alone.
if you want to disrespect Davido, at him. If you are the Odogwu you claim to be, at him.
So Davido.
Ask him like,
so Burna Boy
are you
is an Odogwu
serious?
because he does not ask
Because he doesn't
Davido.
at him.
That's
But
not
you
what
do
I'm
realize
saying.
that David has warned
That's
his
not
fans
what
to
I am
actually stop.
saying.
You know he has
That's
said
not-
it. You know he has actually
But
said
Davido
it.
has also,
that's what he's
no,
saying.
Davido
But
has-
that's not what I'm
Davido
saying.
has also admitted to sending a link to a group chat to send the guy
Exactly.
on them.
Thank you for bringing that up. I
Both
almost
of them
forgot.
have their own. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
That's
Both
what
of them have their
everybody's
own.
body behaves.
But my thing is, if you want to really address someone, stop throwing subs. He tweeted the first one and he deleted it. Bro, say this thing out loud to this guy.
Say the thing with your chest.
At Davido on Twitter and tell him that you have issues. All these subs doesn't speak well of you, and I'm not down for that.
Man,
to be honest.
Well, me, like Elvis said, I feel like the only I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really care
Chris
about
Epe
all
is
these
scared.
celebrations. I'm not scared. But
Yeah.
I love Burna Boy so much.
Yeah, he's the
I
greatest.
really
He's
love
great.
Burna
Nobody
Boy. I
denying.
love
He's
his
the greatest.
music, right? But I just feel like the person that came for you is the person you should have gone after.
Yeah.
Calling Davido
I
a
agree.
pussy in that context
Yeah.
was
Uncalled.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was necessary. Unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Oh, so you
That's
agree
all I
now.
have to say about
Oh, so
it.
you agree.
I'm saying everyone's the same.
Should we get them
also
in
has
room
that.
or
Also
something?
has that tendency. So,
Anyway,
I
if
mean,
we leave this
come
off
on.
you now, these are people will continue. Okay, so moving on from David and Burna Boy to Alex Iwobi, we saw the way Nigerians reacted and criticized him for his performance in the tournament. What do you guys think about people who engaged in cyberbullying? Because I feel like this was cyberbullying. The guy now deleted all his pictures, all his posts on Instagram.
He's a princess like me.
No, I feel like it was unfair.
Yeah, but my dad was like, see, and let me be very honest here. My dad doesn't even do cyberbullying because my dad doesn't even use social media. When we were watching the match, I wasn't even watching the match. My dad just said, "This is Iwobi. He's a model. He should stick to modeling. He's not a footballer." Things like that. So that's when I noticed that. Oh, maybe I didn't even know the guy was not playing well because I don't really care. So I wasn't paying attention. I was like, I see a man that's trying. Do you understand? Because I can't do better. Then I came online. I was like, it's a whole big deal. People are dragging.
People came and they were like, look at a whole footballer on your Instagram, chilling.
To make it not chill.
No football training. No football practice. How are you going to perform well? I don't know. I just feel like his mental health is shaking.
Let me say
this. Is it because you? Let me say this.
I don't have a crush on Alex Iwobi. He's please. I mean, he is, but like no.
Let me say this. AFCON was a uniting moment for
Nigerians,
which has not happened in a very long while. And I think that it was unfair. It is unfair what happened to Alex Iwobi. He did not deserve that. And it's a very shameful behavior on the part of Nigerians for us to bully.
Can you name the Nigerians like one?
The people who went to cyberbullying him now.
Yemoli did.
I don't know about because I didn't follow that. I didn't follow that story. I didn't follow that. But I think it's a shameful moment for us. We shouldn't have to do our own like that when they F up and make mistakes.
Did he really mess up?
Okay, but it's okay to do.
I understand that fans get overly emotional when it comes to like this was a national game. We had ups everywhere, like looking at praying for our downfall. I understand, but Alex Iwobi did not deserve that. Very shameful behavior on the part of Nigerians, and I think that Nigerians should apologize to him. Period.
Okay. So here's more coming from a sports guy. Cares more.
Okay.
What do you
First of all, Nigerians are by now, Nigerians are very reactionary. We react a lot to every little thing. So the issue with Iwobi is my problem is I don't really have an issue with people bantering him. You can banter him, make memes about him, but don't go to his page and start talking bad about. Don't go to his page or trying to in the comment section. About his lineage. It's ugly, like his lineage and everything.
Or you can drag him for being a bad footballer, but that man is not ugly.
Don't you go over the line.
That is fine.
Yeah, you go over the line. It was just too much, and this is not the first time it's happened. That's my annoyance. It happened with Maduka Okoye. Nigerian men came for Okoye because the real reason they came for Okoye was because he was fine and the girls were crushing on him, but they will. Lie.
Also, Nigerian men were jealous.
They were jealous. Nigerian were jealous of Okoye. That's why they attacked him. I dare say it's like anybody that wants to argue. I mean, I'm here. But that is the truth. And that's the same thing that happened with Iwobi. When he dropped a song,
dropped a song?
Yeah, dropped a demo song.
So he's really a model.
It's not a model. Like, he's not a model, but like, I mean...
Why did you say
he's not the only footballer. Memphis Depay who gifted Davido a Rolex just yesterday, or which they recently... I mean, he sings. He's a fashion model too. So, but... It doesn't interfere with his game. You don't see people come to Depay's page and say, "Oh, you're this, you're that. You're the real cousin of Okocha."
So do you think it's jealousy too with Iwobi?
No, people are annoyed because he's Okocha's cousin. That's why. If Iwobi was just not
a guy that hawked bread in the Corona,
he had the grass to grace journey.
It would be easy on him because Osimhen. I don't really watch football, so I had like heightened expectations for the Osimhen guy. And he does a lot of running.
Yeah, he does. He works hard.
And not a lot of goals. So I expected like a grand Messi, Ronaldo type thing. No. I was watching the match, I was like, can you hear me about what's going on?
No. The way the team was set up, actually, you didn't favor him, so that's why. People can't banter Osimhen. He worked hard.
I know that you know work hard though. I wouldn't even know if he worked hard or
not.
Like,
it's not Iwobi's fault. It's not. Well, he'll be back. There were rumors that he's going to retire.
Alex Iwobi, we are sorry.
You are connected to him, man.
I don't. No. And there's this. There's a Super Falcon star, Asisat Oshoala. Like she's a legend, 6-time African Women's Player of the Year. She lashed out. Yeah, she's hypocritical. Oshoala is hypocritical in this sense. Listen, I'm a fan of Oshoala, but she was hypocritical. I know how she banters Manchester United and she banters like Harry Maguire when he had like difficult spells for Man United. People made memes about him. A country even using their politics. She's a player. she's in that position. She should not be.
Yeah.
If she was a fan, I'd be like, oh, but Charlotte, you are a player. You will actually play football. You shouldn't be bantering. You can't be bantering because Maguire is white. Then you're now outraged because people are bantering.
Reparations
the
freedom.
The stinks. Like the double standard stinks. Keep that energy. You understand? So it's sad what happened, but I think Nigerians, we are reactionary. We need to calm down. We did well. I swear, me. I never gave them a chance. I never thought we'd qualify from the group stage, but I mean, we went to the finals. So, yeah, they did.
Shout out to Nigeria.
Super Eagles. So, do you think that there is a thin line between cyberbullying and critiquing someone?
Yes. So I feel like
I feel like they bullied Iwobi.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. So I feel like critiquing is when you bring out, okay, XYZ was wrong about your performance.
Yeah, back your facts.
You understand?
Yeah.
Based off the performance. That's what you're critiquing.
Yeah.
But where it becomes cyberbullying is that when you take the performance, then you start talking about something entirely different.
Yes.
Bringing
Then you start
in
making
external
his
factors.
lineage into it, his looks, his commitment to the sport generally. That's when it becomes cyberbullying. And when people start dogpiling. For instance, I feel like Nigerians, people are too people like Yemoli, very dark man. Dark man. You are too famous to be dragging people.
Like, bro, you can't do that.
I feel like you get to a certain level of fame, you should stop dragging.
Yeah.
Because when someone as famous as a Davido starts dragging, there are 2 million people behind Davido dragging that person as well. If you're not doing activism, shut up.
Yeah. The influencers who actually went on Twitter, most influencers, tweets I saw from influencers were actually bullying. They were not really critiquing his game or something. They were just bullying him, like, based on his background, based on his fact that he's not related to a coach, and making jokes about it. But like, you can't make this guy chose to play for Nigeria. Do you know how many players that we've been begging to play for Nigeria? But he chose. Do you know how many caps he has? He's one of the most experienced players on that team. And then this,
what does caps mean?
Like appearances for Nigeria national team.
This scene is what?
Caps, like appearance, that's what they call, like just caps.
I thought it was central.
So like if all those influencers who actually spearheaded this whole Iwobi bullying, shame on you. You should hang your heads in shame.
Should we name the influencers? So?
Why do you want to name them so bad?
Like, because I feel like if you're calling people out, you should call them out.
I don't really know these influencers personally, but I know that all they know how to do is they rally behind Osimhen. Even when Osimhen has bad days, they rally behind him. Or with Iwobi, I'm not seeing that energy. I'm seeing the hate. It's personal now. Are you getting paid? Is someone paying you? Are you on someone's payroll? Someone bankrolling you? Why can't you keep the same energy? Man, it's not. This is if it was even for Elon Musk engagement, you'd be like, you understand that, okay, this is what the tweet was, but people literally came for his family. Like it's like Iwobi, bro.
Went to DM Okocha's wife.
Like, bro,
like that's extreme.
How would you go that far, man? For me, I don't think that there's a thin line between critiquing someone and cyberbullying someone. I think there's a huge bridge. It's a huge gap. It's very different. When you critique someone, it's with a goal to kind of make the person better. Like, but when you cyberbully someone, it's a means to degrade that person, to make them feel bad, to demean them.
Some people like degrading.
It will never be okay.
It will never be okay.
It will never be okay, especially for players, especially for stars who went to represent our country on an international stage. It's unfair and it's shameful.
The influencers who try to bully Iwobi, all of them who try to force the narrative that he's a shit player, are childish. That's it. You're just childish. Emotionally immature and childish. We talked about adulthood today. That's an example of people who have refused to grow up.
Damn.
Honestly.
Okay, so moving on from football to the entertainment industry, the executive producer of the Headies, Manchild, said that if the Headies wasn't taken out of Nigeria, it would have died. Do we agree?
I told you last time.
I disagree.
I told Kim the last time this came up. I think we talked about the Grammys, right?
Yeah.
That the award shows, the standards different. I told you the problem we have, or the Headies have. He said it's sponsorships. Brands don't want to put their money in to sponsoring award shows because they're not sure they're going to get their money back
because they do not deliver quality.
It's not matter of quality. How many people can actually?
Let's be real.
Let's be honest, because I followed the Headies here. Even when they were in Atlanta, right? It was still shit.
It still flops. Let's be real. The Headies has flopped
year after year. It was still shit. It was poorly attended. The artists don't respect the Headies. So moving it abroad kind of embarrassed us at a global level.
Yeah, but like the problem is, if we want to do it here, who wants to be the sport? The investors are there. They're ready to.
Did they invest in that hall that they used?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, they should have gotten a better investor because it looked shit.
Obviously, yeah. That's the
Headies
That was an American
host.
Actor
Hosting. Yeah, that's the.
How much did you pay him? Wait, I just paid me. You understand? Facts. They are reaching for the stars and giving us shit excuses.
Yeah.
If they continue, one thing with brands is that brands like to invest in value.
Yeah.
You need to create value. You need to give them their money's worth.
Yeah.
Give them a solid production. I was at the Sound City
MVP Awards.
Yeah. It was solid. I saw a few flops here and there because I was there live. If I saw it on TV, I wouldn't have seen those mistakes. Because I was live, I saw mistakes. It was a solid production in Nigeria, a small hall.
Yeah.
You don't even need the entire world attending it.
You don't need the entire world.
Because the Grammys, let's be honest, if you see Pokoli's video, where he was seated empty, they just need the artists to sit down in those small dinner tables in front and tell the cameraman how to shoot. Olumide will set that up for you. You don't have to go all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to be...
I agree. There's some level of truth in what you said, quality, but that's not the measure.
The Headies has the potential, or had the potential to be the great.
It's still
Let me land. The Headies has the potential to be the greatest awards show ceremony in Africa, but they have consistently flopped over and over again, that these are artists even feel embarrassed to be let's be real, these big artists don't attend because they are embarrassed. I think some people said the Headies, the actual award itself is shit. Change it, do some rebranding, people, get some young heads in there to shake things up, get us excited for these awards. It is our own.
The biggest Afrobeat. I was at the nominees party for the Headies.
I was just about to say that.
Right?
Yeah.
There was in the hall it was holding. There was another event happening opposite the hall.
People were going.
We saw nominees walk on the red carpet because it's the red carpet as they pass to the other event. They walked right in front of us to the other event. They were nominees for the. They don't respect. And let's be honest. I went into the hall, and if I had that much money in my account, I would rather go to a better event.
Probably.
So I won't understand this artist. Meanwhile, I understand. I get that artists should respect. Yes, give grace to the Headies.
It's our Grammys.
For how long?
No.
For how long?
We can't continue giving grace to mediocrity.
Okay, guys.
The Headies have flopped over and over again.
Please come back to Nigeria. You've gone abroad.
Thank you so much for your opinion.
Elvis for the Headies. Next weekend.
That's all we can take on this week's episode of Pulse Hot Takes. Join us next week, same time, for more juicy topics. Until next time.
Ciao.